In last season's Zone Premier League decider, the Newcastle Suns went in as hot favourites to win back-to-back grand finals, but it was Beresfield who caused a shock as they fought back to win 3-2 in an entertaining contest. This season it's a similar storyline as last season's beaten grand finalists aim to go one better and win their second championship in 3 seasons. The Zone Premier League is a competition which really has been synonymous with the Suns over the last 3 seasons, and only grand final success we want the Suns want this afternoon. They'll have their work cut out for them though, facing off against Kotara, who appear in their first grand final in the Zone Premier League. We're just having a minute's silence for the moment. And that was in the memory of Jared Hayter, who tragically passed away during the week, the young West Wall's End player. Awful, awful news. So great to see the support from the local community once again. Newcastle Suns up against Kotara. Let's go through the lineups for the Newcastle Suns. They've got leading scorer Andrew Palazzi, who'll look to add to his 18 goals already this season, including 4 he has scored against Kotara South this season. His brother, former Lambton Jaffers grand final winner Alex Palazzi in the side. He scored a few goals as well this year, six to be precise. And on the bench, they have carpet court employee Nick Murphy. And for Kotara South, they've got former Magic, Azuri and Charlestown man Justin Carlier is in goals. David Crowe will anchor the midfield. He's still searching for a grand final win, while fellow midfielder Jim Bennis, the brother of Magic legend John, has never scored a goal in competitive football. We'll see if he can turn that around on the biggest day of the season. On the bench, they have the baby giraffe, Joe Barnett, who didn't have the most ideal grand final preparation last night, as we will find out. It's a perfect sunny afternoon at Magic Park. Wonderful conditions for football to end the season. 21 degrees. There is a slight southerly blowing about 20 kilometres now from the south, and that will be behind the Newcastle Suns in the first half. The coaches, Vasco Apostolovsky is the Suns' mentor, and Justin Carlier is in his first season as the player coach at Kotara South. He's the goalkeeper who actually won last year's Zone League 1 third grade Golden Boot with 20 goals. Now he's playing in goals. And the referee for this afternoon's match, Andrew Diggers Digby, refereed the grand final last year and also the 2016 NPL Northern New South Wales decider when Edgeworth beat Broadmeadow Magic 2-1. So he knows how to handle these pressure matches. It'll be the Newcastle Suns in the red kit from right to left of screen at their home away from home, basically, here at Magic Park. And we're underway in the 2018 Zone Premier League Grand Final. Joining myself, Ben Homer, in commentary is Chris Turner and Damien Smith as Kotara almost create an early opportunity there through Chase Lattimore. Boys, just tell me your thoughts. Will the Suns win a second grand final in 3 years, or can Kotara grab their first since it became the Zone Premier League?
Good afternoon, boys. This is exciting, first of all, to be here, isn't it? This is right in the grassroots of football in Newcastle footballing community, and we're loving being here, the three of us. So thanks for tuning in. Look, can the Suns do it again? Look, they definitely can. There's no doubt about it. They've got some quality players that we'll talk about through the telecast, especially.
Here's the ball threaded through. They've got a great early opportunity, and Aiden Palazzi almost opens the Suns' account after less than a minute of play.
As we're about to say, lots of ability at the top end of the park, and we've almost just seen that right on cue. Look, there's a side of contrast for me. These two sides, you've got the Suns, Smudge, and I'll get your opinion here in a moment. You've got the Suns that are full of talent, that have got lots of experience, and Kotara Tigers, my junior club for 11 years, they're the ones that have got plenty of speed and they're fit. And they're the ones that the longer the game goes on, if they're in it, they're the ones at the back end that are going to be doing some damage, Smudge.
Yeah, totally agree. They're experienced side, the Suns. You've got Alex Palazzi, you've got Lawrence Fader, who have just sort of come out of the NPL in the last year or two, so and Konjaski as well. But, yeah, they're an experienced side. The Palazzi boys in there as well. They were in the grand final last year. We'll hear CT when Burstfield beat them. Denny Burt scores the winner with a few minutes to go, and it was heartbreak for the Suns. But you know what? They're favourite to win today, but don't discount Kotara. They're a youthful side. Talking to the coach, Justin Carlier, before the game, he said they'll run all day. So don't discount them. They've got some weapons off the bench in Joe Barnett as well. So should be a very interesting day of football. And you know what? It's a glorious day, isn't it?
Perfect day for football, isn't it? Just over 20 degrees, just a lovely spring afternoon. And here's a free kick for Kotara. It's the captain, Tom Trudenick.
By the way, Tom is nephew to Peter and Howard Trudenick.
Legends, aren't they?
Famous Newcastle footballers.
Well, there's Trudenick. It was a good ball. Adam Nicholas on the end of it. And then nodded away only as far as Jim Bennis. Offside against the Tigers. Smudge, I just want to ask you, Jim Bennis apparently has never scored a goal in competitive football. How is that the case?
Well, like his older brother, John Bennis, who I coached for many years, is currently in the UK. He didn't score too many goals, and if he did, I'm more inside the 6-yard box and it's been a bobble or it's an accidental goal. So he's probably taken after his older brother a little bit. Oh, nearly a turnover there by Newcastle Suns. But he's a good young player, Jimmy Bennis. We had him through the junior grades here at Broadmeadow Magic. He's playing sort of like the left wing today, but sort of he can play central as well. So, yeah, he's a quality young player.
Yeah, 4 Palozzis out there this afternoon. Aiden, Andrew, Alex and Daniel. And here's one of them. Alex trying to weave his way through the lines. Here's the skipper of the Suns. A little bit of work to do here for McNamara. Decent press here from Kotara, but Palazzi just gets a boot in. Cleared away by Tom Holland, who actually moves to Kotara from Adelaide during the off-season. And in his last grand final, he broke his leg. So wishing him the best of luck this afternoon. We wouldn't want that again. We've already had the ambulance here once today. So if it stays away, that'll be a good thing. Here's Palazzi just knocking it back and found Fotef, who distributes to McNamara.
Just early on, I'll come back to it, Alex Palazzi.
Yeah, Serapis just laid it back to Palazzi, and now Lawrence Fotef, former Magic man. Played in that grand final for them 2 years ago in the NPL. Serapis just dinks it towards the back post. Great early chance. Just nodded over the bar by Aiden Palazzi.
Boys, I was just about to say, Kotara sitting very deep here, CT, allowing the Suns to advance forward. A lot of space in the midfield, allowing the play around. It's a little bit dangerous early on, do you think?
Yeah, I think the plan is for Kotara is weather the early storm, and that they're having to do that right now.
It's a little 1-2. Still Alex Palazzi. Now it falls back for Todd Griffin. Great ball from Palazzi. Back to Griffin. Carlier with a great stop. Low to his left. He had to make it a swift movement, and he did so. McNamara. It's another decent ball in. Here's Serapis with the header and couldn't quite find the target, but a good start here for from the Suns. They finished second during the regular season. Kotara fourth. They upset Mayfield United over the 2 semi-final legs. They beat them in the first leg 2-0. That was Mayfield's only loss all season. How often do we see that?
So the smart play here from Kotara will be to weather this storm early, Smudge. You mentioned them sitting deep, seeing that clearly. That's exactly what they're doing. Their big chance will come in the back end of the game if they're still in it and they're still alive. The trouble is that they've got to avoid this early onset, that they're facing some very talented footballers here now, so they're just going to hang on.
Well, Konjaski tried his luck from distance and was almost brought down there by Palazzi.
Yeah, they'll hang on, and they'll keep hanging on and hanging on. They'll take the odd chance maybe on the counter. As the game wears on, I'm expecting to see it balance out a little bit more as we get some heavier Suns legs and the fitness of Kotara kicks in. That's their plan, Smudge. What do you think?
Yeah, totally agree, CT. And just Just on you mentioned Mayfield going undefeated and losing the semi-finals. The last time I remember a team do that was Edgeworth Eagles, coached by Robert Virgili and Bobby Newmoff, when they went undefeated and Adamstown knocked them out in the semi-finals. Undefeated, they had one draw all year. I think it was about 1998 or something.
98 or 99, I'm pretty certain that was, yeah. Wonderful season that was, apart from the finals.
Yeah, just going back on your point, CT, very important for Kotara to stay compact. If they're going to weather the storm, they have to stay compact. I wouldn't probably drop too deep because that's going to allow players like Palazzi's more room in the middle of the park, and, you know, they can have a shot from 30 yards easy.
A little bit of work to do at the back, but Jovanovic will bring that in nicely. Just allowed to run on by Daniel Palazzi, the defender of the 4 Palazzi boys.
Yeah, totally agree with that, Smudge. So there's a fine line between sitting in deep because they've still got the ability to carve you in those right in your top third or in your bottom third if you.
This one dinked over the top. Aiden Palazzi after it. Just getting his body in front well was Trudenik and puts it over the sideline. Safety first from Kotara South.
Yeah, if you're Kotara and you're sitting that deep. So I think the plan sounds good. Yep. They've just got to stay, as you say, nice and compact, and they don't want to let free runners go. They need to stay really tight.
So here he is, the leading scorer, Andrew Palazzi. Skills like that, you can see why. Look at him go. Digby is just going to point to the goal kick, not the penalty spot. 18 goals this year for Andrew.
And on the flip side, Kotara, Chase Lattimore scored 17 for Kotara. He's a real weapon, Dustin Collier said.
He's like lightning, apparently. So keep a lookout for him. He had an early opportunity, probably in the first 30 seconds of the match. Palazzi. You're
just going back to whether in the Storm, CT, it's very important, the word discipline. You need to say discipline in defence, don't you, CT? Make sure you're consistent with your structures. Put pressure on the ball. If you don't put pressure on the ball, it's going to allow the Suns to creep forward, play the little 1-2s, triangles around the box, and it could be danger. But they've started off pretty good, Kotara.
Yeah, they have. I mean, certainly they've been under a fair bit of pressure here, but you're right, Smudge. Discipline is key for them and really staying close to these guys. When you're playing against very skillful footballers, you need to be right, nice and compact. You can't allow them any room at all. And not just the player that's on the ball, it's also everyone that is in and around the action. And even the one you don't suspect, the switch of play these guys are capable of.
Konjarski infield now to Fotef. McNamara.
Good movement by Fotef. He's got the ball, a few 1-2s there in the middle of the park, just floating, rotating through the midfield. It's good play by the Suns.
Good run here from Palazzi, who tries his luck from distance and just sprays it wide. Scored 10 goals in the NPL with the Jaffers from 2014 to 15. Played for Edgeworth in 2013, Olympic in 2011. So he's been around a few clubs in the NBN State League and the NPL Northern New South Wales, now with the Suns. Won the grand final with them a couple of years back. His brother Daniel, and then Aiden. Palazzi on to Konjarski. Looking for Alex Serapis, another man who has played a lot of action, was seen a lot of action in the NPL Northern New South Wales with Valentine and Hamilton Olympic in recent years.
So hopefully no issues with this amount of Palazzis in the team, boys, with the as far as the commentary goes.
What makes it easy? You say Palazzi and you a 33% chance, more than 33% chance of naming the right player. Here is one of them.
There's
to his
another
brother. Palazzi to Palazzi and back to Palazzi.
And interesting, I went to school with their father, Angelo Palazzi, and I'll tell you what a wonderful footballer he was. Smudge, you might remember Angelo going around, and one of the most skillful footballers you would ever come across, as we see a mistake there from the Suns that they've regathered. 3 of the brothers and 1 cousin. And Angela as well, must mention Angela. So, yeah, certainly a Palazzi show here this afternoon.
It's a raking ball from Konjarski, and he's sending Alex Palazzi on a run. It would sit just inside the line. Dinks it back in looking for his brother. Andrew waiting there, and Lawrence Fotef, not known for his goal-scoring ability, and he sprays that one into the back fence.
And, of course, the Palazzis, while we're there, very well known in Newcastle for the Riverdirchi's pizza down at the junction, one of the Turner's family favourites, to be honest. We love going there. They always look after you. Food is always amazing. advice to book in because they're usually busy.
Yeah, I second that, CT. It's just around the corner from my place and absolutely delicious. And big servings.
Konjarski spent a bit of time in the NPL with Broadmeadow Magic. Fringe player for a couple of seasons. Palazzi. It's fun. I was going to say, you sound a little bit croaky today. I feel like I'm a little bit croaky as well from last night.
Yeah, it was a big night last night, wasn't it?
I think the bit that killed me was the presentation where I was reading out the names of the players. I was giving it everything with my voice, and I think it's cracked a bit.
To be honest, I think the thing what killed you was Dino Fadjevic's tipping a carton of beer over you with the Bar TV gear.
Yeah, we went into the Magic dressing room after the match, and yeah, it was pretty wild in there, I must say. Beer going everywhere, including over me. This one well brought down by Serapis. Got away from Holland. And watch out, kids. Gee whiz. He got it in the goal, behind the goal, and almost took out the kid in goals.
See the kid at the back. He wasn't phased at all. The ball's coming to him. He just palmed it into that far back net. He wasn't phased at all. And there he goes, kicking the ball back. So there you are. You can have it back, mate.
Fotef. Now Serapis. Konjarski with the outside of his boot. And CT, last night, of course, you weren't with us for the NPL Grand Final, but it's great to have you back today. Good to have the team back together. How was your night?
Well, I had my daughter's Holly's 17th birthday party on, and there were 80, 16, 17-year-olds at my house. So all hands on deck, boys. So all good. Good to see quality young Novocastrians in good form and not out of control. By the way, they're in close attendance. And
we'll hear a little bit more about that later when one of the bench players from Kotara comes on.
Yeah, we called in there, Barton. It was a little bit tame, so then we left. But
yeah, well, that was why we left, wasn't it?
And I'm happy on two fronts there.
Here's Palazzi.
That it was tame and you left.
Here's Alex Palazzi. Straddling the 18-yard box.
Just quickly, Kotara's got a lot of numbers around the ball here. Good ball in.
Yeah, McNamara onto the head of Palazzi. That was Aiden rising.
Hey, you have to give credit to Kotara here, CT. They're getting numbers behind the ball and they're putting pressure on the ball when the Suns are in those dangerous areas in that front third.
They've had a clear conversation from their coach to say exactly that. They're going to make sure they're going to do everything they can to keep them out. And the longer the game goes on, the more they're in it. It's that simple. And so far, as you say, Smudge, they're doing a fine job. And I like the way they're staying nice and compact and very tight on their attackers, because these people that they're marking that the Suns have got some ability.
So Kotara get the free kick going their way. Great to have your company wherever you're watching. Let us know in the comments if you are watching anywhere around the country outside of Newcastle. The flick on from Griffin and now Lawrence Fotef. We had people watching from Bali. I know Vasco Grajewski was watching from Macedonia. Don't know whether he'll be watching this one. You expect he might be. Palazzi.
This is where he's dangerous. Palazzi running forward. Great ball in.
And threads it through. Here is Aiden Palazzi. Great little movement, and then he taps it past Carlia. Skillful from Aiden Palazzi, and the Suns draw first blood in the 2018 Zone Premier League decider.
Yeah, we spoke about it, CT, before. They've been tenacious in defence, Kotara, but you can't allow to have, someone like Alex Palazzi to have space. He had space. He was able to play the 1-2 with his brother. Great little turn inside, and what a great finish, CT.
Yeah, he certainly was. And we spoke about the skill levels of these players. Spoke about their father, Angelo. He'd be proud because he knows what they've got in them, and that was a wonderful finish. Great turn and the composure to finish the way that he did. He could have pulled the trigger a bit early. He just made sure he got his timing right. He's completely in tune with what he had to do and got the job done.
So they really have to turn things around now, Kotara. They've played the Suns the last two seasons since they're promoted from Zone League 1. and they haven't beaten them in 4 matches. The Suns won 6-0 and 2-1 last year, and this season the Suns won 3-2 and 3-1 matches this season.
And just on your point, CT, we spoke about Kotara weather and the storm. You have to be very careful doing that because, you know, like we talk about, you have to be disciplined. And that time they just sat off Alex Palazzi. Oh, here goes Kotara.
Good build up here, and
Lattimore.
a great turn from Lattimore, the leading scorer. And Jovanovic had to get to his right. He got down low and made the parry, but probably Kotara's best opportunity thus far.
Can I say, what a great turn by Lattimore. I'll tell you what, and Nick Jovanovic, what a great save. He came out, spread his wings, closed the space down, and Lattimore was unlucky. What a great turn. He's got some pace, turn of pace as well, Lattimore. Very impressive.
It's a decent enough turn from Serapis, but Joe McIsaac was there to thwart him. Now Bennis. Almost threaded through for Luke Derwin, who is making that central run. Morgan Bow now. Bennis.
Oh, nice turn.
Silky from Bennis. Attempted turn. Still going Lattimore. And I think, unfortunately, for the young man, it has come off him.
Can I say, he's looking very sharp, Lattimore, isn't he? Great little turn again. Nice 1-2 link-up play, but unfortunately it was well defended by the Newcastle Suns.
14 goals in his first 11 matches this year, Chase Lattimore. Scored 17 this season.
Yeah, he's well balanced, he's quick, and obviously he can score goals.
Konjarski picks out Palazzi. Neat back heel again, Todd Griffin. Just get run off the ball by Nicholas. So Newcastle Suns coming into this match this afternoon undefeated in their last 14 matches. They began the season with 4 losses in their first 6. So really good run of form lately. And for Kotara South, they're unbeaten in their last 3, but they've only won 2 of their last 9 after starting the season superbly, where they won 6 of their first 8. They're actually at the top of the table at the halfway mark of the season, but injuries to Zach Douglas and John Coomer really hurt them. But they're able to do the job over the semi-final series against Mayfield United. It's been the Newcastle Suns who have been dominating the grand final up to this point. They led in last season's decider via a free kick from John Majerowski very early on inside the opening 10 minutes of that one.
We were here for that part, and that was a glorious free kick. And just on John Majerowski, he was absolute quality last night in the NPL Grand Final. Was he got man of the match? So absolute quality.
What a turnaround though from him.
But you know what we said last night? He's looking fit. It's the leanest I've seen him look in years.
He just wanted it. Motivation.
And for more reports, he's going around again next year.
To be 36. Alex Serapis. Just got in front of Joe McIsaac. Oh. And then he plays it straight to David Crow, the man who's never won a grand final. Maybe he called for that one.
I don't think Alex Palazzi's too happy. He busted his gut to get to that ball and, ran inside. Oh, intercepted.
Intercepted by Konjarski, and now Palazzi. Just dinked it over the top, but McIsaac did well to recover.
He's sharp, isn't he, Lattimore?
Very sharp. Now to Derwin, a man who didn't play a minute of first grade action until the first leg of the semis. He's played every minute since. He's looked good thus far. Turned over by Pfeiffer. With Luke Derwin, the number 4. What a story that is.
I think both sides just need to sit on the ball here. They're just playing a little bit of long stuff at the moment. Just get it down, be nice and calm on the ball. Stick to your structures.
Nicholas.
And that's better by Kotara. Just hold play a little bit. They're only down 1. There's no rush at the moment. Have a bit of a switch of play. There it goes. And use the width again.
Are you conducting this match, Smudge? You're like a conductor up here. Go over there, they'll do that. And here is Lattimore with the flick on. Well taken in goals by Jovanovic. Very much like Broadmeadow Magic, Smudge. You've been talking about them using width this year, and last night they were wonderful with their width, weren't they?
Loved every minute of it last night, Bart. As we said, you know, once you play with width, you open up the midfield, and Oxborough had plenty of time on the ball, and they were playing through Edgeworth really well last night, as we've seen, and also gave Virgili and Bradbury space to take their players one-on-one, and they were all dynamite. And you know what, that's probably the best I've seen Magic play all year, and I would have loved to seen that Magic side play against Bentley Green on the front foot from the word go, with Oxborough in, with James Virgili in, using the width. I'd think they'll give them a real good run for their money.
Yeah, they without Oxborough and Virgili, definitely hurt them. And their sister club, the Suns, going around this afternoon, so wouldn't they love a double? 2 days, and celebrations will continue if the Suns can get the job done.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Just want to say a quick hello to our good friend Smudge, Peter Laurie. He's up in Queensland watching Bar TV, and it's the beauty of Bar TV. You can watch it from wherever you are. Thanks for joining us, Pete. Enjoying having all of you watching.
Here's Palazzi! It's a perler from Alex Palazzi. What a goal to score in a grand final. And the Newcastle Suns, they are shining this afternoon at Magic Park. 2-0.
That has got to be one of the best goals I've seen, if not this year, of all. Smudge, that was a strike of strikes. And unfortunately for Carlier, he just stood there and just, he'd probably want to get out of the way rather than save it. My gosh, that was hit with some. You don't see them like that every day. What a strike.
You know what, I've seen Alex Palazzi.
Oh, Smudge has dropped his pen over the abyss here at Magic Park. I think it's hit someone on the head down there.
Just quickly, I've seen Alex Palazzi do that a number of times over the years, playing for Magic, playing for numerous clubs. And we said earlier, you don't want to give him space and just hold off, because he can hit it from 30 yards, and that's what he did. And what a strike by Alex Palazzi. My God, that ball didn't even move, did it? I'd love to see that again.
I just love the look on Justin Carlier's face as the ball he did not move, did he? He just looked up to his left and...
But that's what he's capable of.
So here he is. Bennis! Oh, what an opportunity that would have been if there wasn't a noggin on the end of it. Rushing through was Trudinic, the captain. Would have been unmarked.
Well, he scored one like that for Broadmeadow Magic, Smudge. I was there up at South Cardiff about probably a good 7 or 8 years ago. Just left side of the box and ripped one from similar distance. But this one, that is just a wonder strike.
Nicholas. Trudinic couldn't quite get a flick on it. And since they conceded the opening goal, Kotara, they've been a little more potent attacking-wise, and then Alex Palazzi goes and does that.
Nice touch by Alex Palazzi.
Andrew onto Alex, and then Griffin. Former Lambton Jaffers player Todd Griffin. Fotef. Now McNamara.
And again, Kotara just a little bit deep, just allowing Suns to have a bit of time on the ball. There's space in the midfield when that happens. But it was good pressure by Lattimore and causing a turnover by Konjowski.
Bennis. Turned it over to Aidan Palazzi.
Nice touch.
Andrew Palazzi now tries to do what his brother did moments ago. He couldn't quite get it off the ground.
Well, the Suns now are really in control. They've got a couple of goals up and they're starting to stroke the ball around. So, for me, playing a pace and a style that suits them all. They're good with the diagonal balls. They're picking their players out. They're reducing the amount of running they're doing and keeping some possession. Because they know that Kotara will not stop. So the danger for them is in the back end of the game if they get too tired and use too much energy at the moment. They're managing this smudge particularly well.
And here's a chance for them to add a third to an already super first half for the Suns.
And you know what, that comes down to experience. They've got a lot of experienced players there, a lot of guys who have played at a high level, and they're just holding the ball here. They use them with, as we spoke about with all year, CT.
There's Chase Lattimore onto Derwin. Pfeiffer now. The Kotara Jr. Zach Pfeiffer. Lattimore tried to play in Derwin, but he was swarmed, and you sense that'll be the key for the Newcastle Suns.
Good pressure by the Suns. They allowed the pass to go in. As soon as the pass went in, they just stormed, closed down really quickly.
Bennis.
Suns again playing a nice. The line's a little bit deep. It's not too bad. It's not as deep as Kotara. So it closes the space and it makes it harder to get past those balls through the midfield. So there was a late challenge on McNamara.
And the Suns in the Zone Premier League, they had the second best attack in the competition behind Mayfield. 53 goals scored in 18 regular season matches. And only 4 members of the Suns squad this afternoon yet to score. Gosevsky, Fotev, Konjarski and Nick Murphy. Now, Nick Jovanovic, the goalkeeper, he's even scored a goal this year. Stuart Thompson, a lawyer by trade.
Just his Suns are playing very smart. They're in no rush. They're up 2-0. It's only midway through the first half, and they're just keeping the ball. They're using their width as well.
Well, here's an opportunity that could open up here for Chase Lattimore. He has the run of Jim Bennis, who's never scored in competitive football, and he's done it now. Extraordinary. And Kotara South half the deficit. You would not credit it. Jim Bennis dragged Kotara back into this contest.
Got to give a huge amount of credit for Lattimore and his pace and his determination. He heard Bennis on his left shoulder. He knew he was somewhere. He got control of the ball first, took a touch, glanced, saw where he was, and didn't overhit it. That was the key. He didn't overhit to Bennis, put it in the right place. Bennis, as you say, Bart, he doesn't score. He scored that one. He popped it and knew exactly where he had to go. And Smudge, it looked like looking at his brother John, the same run, the same timing from him. He turned up exactly at the right moment.
100% agree. And you see Jim Bennis running about 50 yards to get there in the box. He knew that was the chance. Lattimore's close down was absolutely brilliant. But the Suns just got a bit slack playing out. They were very comfortable and just got a bit... Oh, it's a great ball over the top to Serapis.
Alex Serapis, he has the run of Andrew Palazzi. Still going Serapis, and Kalia did very well to get that left boot out and knock it over for a corner, the lesser of two evils.
And just going back to Jim Bennis, he's a left-footed player and he scores with his right boot.
Didn't he roll it in?
He rolled it in beautifully. I'll tell you what, if that was his brother, he probably would have missed. But that was a great finish by Jim Bennis.
Yeah, the trust in your teammates to absolutely be there and make the run from that far at a distance is it's just total commitment to what you're doing there. As we see this one whipped in straight out to Palazzi.
Yeah, that was interesting. Andrew Palazzi brought it down. And now Lattimore gets floored. Andrew Palazzi sprays that one to the right. CT, we've got a special guest in the commentary box.
We have. We have the pleasure of having the great John Kumar with us. John playing with he's injured for Kotara South, and Johnny, thanks very much for joining us.
Yeah, not a problem. CT, thanks for having me, mate.
Mate, I just mentioned you're injured. You've got a few injured players out today. How's that impacting on the squad overall?
Mate, yeah, it's disappointing personally to be out of the grand final. We've also got...
We'll just stick here with Serapis, a great chance, but Tom Holland with a cutout for him.
Yeah, we've also got Zachy Douglas out with an injury too. So they're two of our two centre midfielders, two probably probably better ball playing midfielders out of the group, but it's good to see the guys get back into the game there with a goal for Jim Dennis, I think it was. So it's good.
Yeah, and a wonderful goal it was too, and great lead-up work from Lattimore. Mate, look 2-0 down. Suns are starting to get in control and push the ball around. Then we see that goal, and now Kotara putting some pressure on. We know fitness is on the side. What was said exactly before the game?
Yeah, so we spoke about playing the game in quarters. We knew Suns would come out quick. We just wanted to slow the game down and see out that first 20 minutes to half an hour. And here's Chasey.
A good turn from Lattimore. He's been so impressive. Down he goes. It's a penalty. You heard John Coomer, and Chase Lattimore has let Anthony Konjarski know all about it. There's no bias up here in the commentary box at the moment.
None, and this will be fun having Johnny Kumar here with us.
And Digby has told Anthony Konjarski to go away. It was a penalty. I thought it was a penalty. Fair enough. Smudge is nodding. CT's nodding. Of course, John's nodding. And here's the opportunity.
Yeah, and Smudge is indicating the turn on the attack. And it was a wonderful turn and had no choice.
Well, here we go. Here's the yellow card for Konjarski, who's dropped a water bottle now, just to slow the penalty taking down. So the skipper. So here he is, Trudinic. And don't the Suns fans love that? He tried to pick out the top corner, and he couldn't do so.
Well, that's a miss, but what's not a miss is Kotara's enthusiasm, and they're going to keep coming the way that this one's shaping. Look, Kotara would love to have seen that go in, and Johnny Kumar next to us is just slightly deflated for the moment. But, mate, you can see they're not going to go away. Before the game, it was about playing the game in 4 parts.
Yeah, it was. It was playing in 4 parts. We knew the Suns would come out quick, and we also know that we'll run over the top of them towards the end of the game. We've got some good athletes out there, and I think you'll see that show as the game goes on.
We mentioned Lattimore earlier. He's obviously been a key for you this season.
He has, mate. You can see out there today. He's already becoming a handful for the Suns, and it's just that turn of speed. You know, you can't buy that pace, and he'll continue to cause some troubles out there today, I think.
Well, it's opening up again here for Derwin. Lattimore. And the thing that Lattimore did do when he won the penalty was he went and clapped in Konjarski's face, and now they've missed the penalty. So the Suns midfielder with a final laugh on that occasion. Holland into the legs of Griffin. It really has opened up, CT, hasn't it, midway through this first half?
Well, this is turning into an absolute cracker.
Down goes Palazzi.
There's so much in this and such contrasting styles of play, and this is what makes it so much fun. And as the game goes on, it'll keep changing its look. Johnny Kumar, just finally before you go, at this point in the game, would you be accepting 2-1's okay, knowing that you can see your team lifting?
Yeah, I think 2-1's a good position to build on for the second half. Obviously disappointing we just missed that penalty. You've got to take those chances, but I can see us running over the top of it in the second half. So fingers crossed, CT.
Yeah, well, that's a big call, and we thank you very much for joining us, Johnny, up here in the commentary team, and I've got no doubts that they will not stop in the second half.
Here he is, Chase Lattimore. I tell you what, NPL clubs, check out this bloke. Adam Nicholas now deflects into the path of Derwin. Falls into the path of Derwin now. Well blocked, Lattimore sprays it wide. The Tigers, they are all over the Suns at the moment.
Hey boys, just 70. I like this Lattimore. He's got quick turn of speed, nice touches, good balance, faces forward, CT. It's a defender's nightmare.
Yeah, and the other thing, Smudge, I do like him too. And the other thing is he's not panicking in front of goals. He'll take an extra touch when he has to.
Yeah, what a fight back this from Kotara in the last 5 to 10 minutes. And here they come. Again, the press.
But again, you know how they sat and weathered the storm a little bit. Would you start off with that? You know, when they put actually pressure on the Suns sort of panic a little bit. And they've been doing mighty well in the last 5 or 6 minutes when they've really put pressure on the Suns and started to play and play a bit more of a high line. It's a great ball. He's offside.
Just offside, Aiden Palazzi.
I felt the same when Broadmeadow played Bentley Green. They sat back and allowed Bentley Green to come in and dominate the game. And you know what? When you sit and weather the storm, you're doing a lot of work in defence and you get tired. So back on that, I would have loved to see Magic go for Bentley Green straight away. Not open up, but go for him.
Are we talking about last night again? No. Here we go. He's Lattimore again.
Great turn. And Bennis, as we said, come into this match. He hadn't scored in competitive football. He scored one. He was looking for a second, but Alex Palazzi, he wants another one as well. He scored a special goal to make it 2-1, and here is Tom Holland heading into the book.
Now this is all I've been hearing about this week regarding the Suns. Their dead ball specialist in Andrew Palazzi. We've seen Alex hit one and be successful, and it was an absolute thunderbolt. Andrew has got his opportunity now in a wonderful position smudge. He's just in range, far enough out. A man of his talent can dip and weave the ball almost at will.
Well, Aiden's got one. So has Alex, but Andrew couldn't quite find the target from the dead ball situation. Lattimore.
He was looking to bend that one around the outside of the wall and had plenty on it.
And Kotara flowing forward through Bennis.
Kotara just starting to find some space. Look at the width they're playing with C2. We were talking about width all year. See, the width opens up the midfield, doesn't it? It allows the midfield to have more space.
Yeah, we do. And not only that, especially in this division, they've obviously worked on it. It's not something that's just happened. They've worked on this to make that width occur.
Threaded through for Alex Palazzi.
It was dangerous.
Yeah, great movement again. He hit that one with some power. And Carlia is going to take his time picking it up.
Boys, I'm loving this game. It's end-to-end football and contrasting in styles. This is really good fun.
This is one of
I
the best
hope you're enjoying it at home as well.
I was going to say, CT, this is one of the best halves of football I've watched all season.
And you know what? It's good quality. There's good passages of play. There's, obviously there's turnover, but, the sides are playing, 5 up to 10 passes with the ball. It's actually good. There's good rotation in midfield. I like this Lattimore. He's playing as a number 9, but he's pushing back in the midfield, creating an overload in the midfield like he's got here.
And he's so fit, isn't he?
Yeah, look, faces forward. Always faces forward with the ball.
20 years of age. Almost through from the turn was Dave Crow.
Yeah, and I agree, Smudge. And so when he's dropping back into the middle of the park, as a defender, a central defender, you've got to make a choice. You're either going to sit and stay where you are and hold your line, hold your shape, or you've got to come with him. Or shuffle someone else across into the middle of the park, and it's not exactly working for the Suns in that respect right now.
Palazzi with the outside of his boot trying to find Serapis. They're just really fatiguing here in the heat here, the Newcastle Suns. This one's sliced towards the sideline. A call from the Suns is to try and switch on because they really have switched off as we near half-time.
You can see the Suns getting quite frustrated here. You can hear their players say, boys, switch on, switch on.
Tom Holland. Now Nicholas.
The other thing with the both sides, their positional play is really good, isn't it, CT? They're using their width. They've got good little triangles in there, especially in the middle of the park. The stoppers, especially Lattimore for Kotara and Serapis for the Suns, they don't stay high. They come off into the midfield, create that overload.
Yeah, I was going to say, as you go through the levels, it's harder. It's harder to get people to training, but these guys look well organised.
Turning towards Bennis. Palazzi came out of the defensive line and just thwarted him.
Yeah, they look well organised. They look like they're teams that both are working hard on their shape. And the reality is that probably more likely harder to get numbers to training. You know, we've got mechanics, we've got concreters, we've got fitters, all the trades, as the other do the other grades. But you tend, as a grade goes through the divisions, it's harder to get people to training. But I've got to give them credit, both sides. They look like their shape is organised.
A bit of push and shove between Griffin and Nicholas. Vasco Apostolovsky watching on from the sideline, the Newcastle Suns coach.
Just going back to Kotara, I think they'll be pretty happy. Like, there's only a few minutes before half-time. They'll be reasonably happy. I know they're 2-1 down, but they did miss a penalty to make it 2-2. But they were 2-0 down and struggling, and they've just really come back in that last 20 minutes, and they've been superb, and they're just peppering the Suns' goal. However, the Suns have got so much lethal attack, haven't they, CT? You just can't fall asleep.
Great tackle there from Jim Bennis. Nicholas. Tell me, Smudge, if you're an NPL coach or CT, would you sign Chase Lattimore based on what you've seen so far?
I'll tell you what I would do. I'm not sure about Smudge. To let him have his own opinion. With someone like him,
Great ball.
And Serapis, that one just in front of him.
I'd watch him not just on one appearance, but again on another one and maybe a third time. And then if that was the case, based on what I've seen today, and let's say I've seen a couple, I'd bring him in and test him against players of the quality he's going to be playing against and see how that one shapes up. As Smudge correctly points out, love the way he drops in, picks up the ball and always goes forward.
Bennis trying to find that man Lattimore.
And I can't believe I'm going to say this, CT, but I absolutely agree with that point you made there. Probably the first time this year.
We need some kind of
Great touch.
Here he is, Lawrence Fotev. Just got caught under his boot there. Hasn't scored too many. He hasn't scored this year, to be honest.
Lawrence Fotev.
No goals
No,
in 8
okay.
matches. He did score the 1 goal in the NPL for Broadmeadow Magic back in 2013.
It was a great turn by, or great touch, great chest by Lawrence Fotev. Cut inside, great opportunity, but yeah, just scuffed his shot. But
Yeah, just one of 4 Newcastle Suns players in this side.
and just going back to Kotara, they're playing a high line now. You know, in the first 15 minutes where they allowed the Suns to advance forward easily and have a lot of space in the middle of the park and time on the ball. Now they're playing a high line, really compacting the space, making it difficult for the Suns to play through.
Andrew Palazzi just goes back to his goalkeeper. It was interesting. Fotev one of 4 players in this Suns' entire squad, the 15-man squad, that haven't scored this year. So it's been I've shared the goal scoring around.
Only one joke for each half, boys, and this one's a real quick one about the Suns. I stayed up all night trying to follow the Suns, but then it dawned on me.
Mate, the issue is you're the only one who laughs at your own jokes, mate.
Palazzi, Serapis now. Surging into some space.
He did well, didn't he?
Couldn't outwit Tredinic. He'll still be disappointed he missed that penalty, the captain.
Try not to rub it into too much for him, Bart.
Here's Holland. I'll try not to. Konjarski.
Mike,
But
our
that-
producer, was laughing. That's all that matters to me.
That was the joke, and here's Serapis, one-on-one with Carlia, and he's got an open goal now, Alex Serapis, but Digby has given the free kick against the Suns for a little push on the Kotara South goalkeeper. Can I just say, boys, Kotara South's actually one of my former clubs.
Is that right?
Yeah, I played for Lambton Jaffers, Adamstown Rosebud, and Kotara South.
Well, I have to say to you, Bart, I played with Kotara South from under 6s to under 16s.
There you go. So, Smudge, did you play for Kotara
I
South?
played in over 35 Kotara Tigers, winning the grand final, and they lost the grand final this year to Edgeworth, who beat Edgeworth probably about 3 or 4 years ago. So I'll play for Kotara as well. Nesbitt Park.
Nesbitt Park, that's it. The swamp. You wouldn't get on if it rained. And that will do us for half-time here in the 2018 Zone Premier League Grand Final. It has been enthralling. The Suns surged out to a 2-goal lead, courtesy of Aidan Palazzi, and a ripping strike from his brother Alex Palazzi, who set up the first goal and blazed in the second. But then, in the second part of that first half, Kotara fought back, as we expected, and Jim Bennis scored his first goal in competitive football in the grand final. Chase Lattimore then won a penalty, but Tom Tredinick put it over the bar, and that's why we sit at half-time. It's the Newcastle Suns 2, Kotara South Tigers 1. Didn't you love that 45 minutes? That just went so quickly.
Yeah, look, end-to-end football there, and I've got to be honest, I was thinking 2-0 up, and when Suns are starting to stroke the ball around and manage their play, thinking that it was looking fairly ominous. However, goal back, that goal you mentioned to Bennis, and then a missed penalty brings Kotara South straight back into this game, Smudge, and should be an interesting second half with tiring legs you would expect from the Suns versus a very fit-looking Kotara South side.
Yeah, totally agree. It was experience of the Suns versus the youthful Kotara Tigers, especially in the, early in the game. And I thought obviously the Suns dominated that first 20 or so minutes. Like you said, Kotara weathered the storm, pinched one back, should have got two back. I'll tell you what, they finished stronger, and I'm looking forward to this second half. That was a great first half, very entertaining, end-to-end, good quality football as well. So can't wait for the second half. And
how good is this? The kids are on the park having some penalty shots. Just grassroots football at its very best.
Yeah, it certainly wouldn't be allowed in other grades, and it is fantastic to see. And one more point, looking forward to Lattimore running and marking the second half, especially in the last 20 minutes, expecting big things from him at that point.
All right, well, we will be back in 10 minutes. The Suns leading Kotara 2-1 in the Zone Premier League Grand Final of 2018. Welcome back to Magic Park for the second half of this 2018 Zone Premier League Grand Final. And the Newcastle Suns leading it by 2-1 against Kotara South Tigers. Really entertaining first half. Goal for Alex and Aiden Palazzi before a response from Jim Bennis. So the Tigers get us back underway from right to left of screen in this second half of action. Joining me in commentary is Chris Turner and Damien Smith. CT, didn't we love that first half? And you sense the Tigers are coming to get the Suns.
Yeah, gee, I tell you what, this game has been an absolute cracker so far. Really enjoyed watching this first half and the contrasting styles of the two teams. One with a lot of experience and skill, and the other a ton of adrenaline and youth, speed and some quality.
So Bennis, Whitey goes to Nicholas. Still probing Nicholas, and he just tried to thump that one goalward.
This game's got all of the ingredients to have a special ending, and hopefully it does. We've got, obviously Suns are up 2-1, but they're the team of the two sides that are likely to tire. Kotara are not going to slow down, so the longer this game goes on, the longer Kotara are in this one.
Turn there from Fotef. Suns starting this second half as they started the first with a fair amount of possession. McIsaac with the attempted backheel flick, and Aiden Palazzi scored the opening goal for the Suns this afternoon. Fotef. Touch inside from McNamara.
Fotef, great ball in there. Former Broadmeadow Magic player. He's certainly one player that won't slow down in the second half.
Great turn here, Serapis, and will win a corner for the Newcastle Suns.
So while this one's out for a corner, Bart. Wyn Jones follows Kotara Tigers. He's over in the UK. He says a quick shout out to Steve, Building Dreams, Davidas of Kotara. He's tuned in, and we love this aspect of Bar TV. Wherever you are around the town, the country, or the world, you can tune in. So thanks for joining us, Wyn. Great to have you on board. You can check out what time it is over in the UK right now, Bart. I guess it's probably about 10:30 in the morning at a guess. In fact, it'll be earlier than that.
This one well taken by Jovanovic. I can tell you exactly what it is, CT, at the moment. Currently in London, it is 6:30 in the morning. Be a little bit chilly there as well, just into autumn. Lattimore, he was out jumped, but he's going to give away the free kick. A little bump on Palazzi. Up goes Nicholas. A bit of a duel there with Todd Griffin. Actually a production supervisor at Tomago Aluminium. They actually have to shut off Tomago Aluminium. You probably heard, CT, when there's a lot of days where there's high temperatures because of the amount of electricity that is used, and Tomago has to be shut down maybe for a couple of hours just so the electrical grid doesn't totally go kaput. It's a good run from Palazzi. Weaving his way and trying for a strike as he produced in that first half.
Yeah, he knew as soon as he hit that one, it didn't come off the exact part of the boot that he wanted it to, and that causing a bit of spin and uplift. But looking dangerous there, Palazzi. He's got his intention clear, and it's to get another one.
Morgan Bowe, another Kotara Jr. Great pressure from McNamara. Played it into Serapis and then receives Palazzi to his brother, Andrew.
Oh.
What a lethal left foot he has got there, Andrew Palazzi, the leading scorer for the Suns this year. And he very nearly made it 3-1.
Well, he would have loved to have seen that one gone in, Palazzi. And from his brother, the ball, I could see what he was trying to do. He just tried to kill it dead for him so he had a better strike on it. His touch was good, Andrew. And then just with that power, just collecting just the outside of the post. Big opportunity. Here they come again, but...
Great skills from Alex Palazzi again. Too powerful for Kalia. And he's got a double. The Suns skipper. The captain has come to this grand final party. 3-1 now.
Well, that's just a wonderful finish. Palazzi, again, just looking threatening, and this one he made sure was on target, and he hit it with the power. And in the end, deflection doesn't matter. It was all his goal and found all net. Great timing, technique, running, everything coming together. This is why this side is so good.
What about the power as well? And this is one thing I've noticed this afternoon, having called a lot of NPL matches this year. A lot of players in the NPL are reluctant to shoot from distance. And Alex Palazzi has shown this afternoon with 2 goals from outside the box that he's not afraid of striking a ball from well outside the 18-yard box.
Well, let's, and Smudge I'm sure will back me up here, let's understand that you've got to have the talent to do that, the technique and the timing. Certainly Alex Palazzi has that. Different players do it different ways. No use pulling the trigger if you just haven't got the technique for the power to beat the keeper from range, Smudge.
Exactly right. And we spoke in the first half, you can't give him space facing forward, going towards goal, 25 yards out or not. He can have a beautiful strike, and that was a terrific goal.
Good intervention there from Thompson, and now Alex Palazzi is one-on-one with Kalia, and Justin Kalia may have just saved the Tigers there for the moment. Because if Palazzi scores a hat-trick, there were some serious issues for the Tigers, but Ladder more quickly on the breakdown field, played it into Bennis, who wins the free kick.
Yeah, Palazzi may have underestimated the reach of Kalia. He's a big human, long reach.
Nicholas's first touch really let him down there. Griffin. You can see the Kotara fans, they've migrated down to the northern end of Magic Park. They're hoping for some goals in their second half, but unfortunately, they're going in at the other end at the moment. So 3-1, the same scoreline as it was back in round 13 when these two sides met. On that occasion, it was Andrew Palazzi who scored a couple, along with an own goal, and Joe Barnett is on the substitute bench for the Tigers. He scored in that one, so we'll see whether they bring on the striker shortly.
Smudge, I've just had a text from our good mate John Neesvik saying we were talking about Lattimore, and he said he coached him at Magic under 13s to 15s, and he went and played at NPL at the 17s. He said he's an exceptional talent, and he's a little bit surprised that he hasn't seen him progress further. So you don't know. Maybe he gets an opportunity that someone does want to have a look next year. You never know. I'm sure Kotara wouldn't want to lose him. That's for sure.
Morgan
Just
Bowe.
quickly, just what a great start in the second half of the Newcastle Suns. Kotara just started to climb their way back into that first half, didn't they, boys? And just started to get on top and started to have a bit of momentum. And I think the halftime break sort of christened them a little bit, didn't they, CT?
Christened them. What was that? Christened. What time did you get home last night? Christened them. All right, we'll just run with that. Yeah, I think. Yeah,
Can we use that word from now on?
Yeah, christened them. Yeah, you're tired. Poor thing.
Jovanovic.
And again, the Suns very experienced. I really spreading the park out here. It's well defended by Kotara.
Nicholas. Now Bennis. Trudenic. Morgan Bowe attempting to play the 1-2 with Pfeiffer. Not on the same wavelength. And now Palazzi just caught offside. So while they were freshened up by that halftime break, the Suns, you still sense there's fatigue in their legs, and Kotara are going to come home strong in that final half an hour, you sense. So a 2-goal advantage for the Suns has not quite sealed them.
And you're saying they've got weapons off the bench there, Bart.
They have Joe Barnett on the bench, the striker. They've got plenty of strikers on the bench. Joe Barnett, Beau McDonald. Now, he's a good young player as well, former Jets youth man. He actually scored the first goal that I commentated for Bar TV in the NPL. Beau McDonald for the Jets youth. And Alex Palazzi, would you believe, scored the second. He played in that match as well. That was back in 2015. McDonald. Couldn't curl that one enough. Don't you love the drums, CT, here at the Zone Premier League Grand Final? They had the drum last night at the NPL Grand Final as well, the Broadmeadow Magic fans.
Oh, yeah, love the drums, love the action. Love the comments coming through, boys, on social media.
Yeah, let us know wherever you're watching from, as long as it's not, you know, a house across the road in Broadmeadow. Why don't you just walk across the road? If you're somewhere exotic, let us know.
Great to see Sam Walker joining us this afternoon. Our NPL leading goal scorer for 2018. Blue, welcome on board. Stick around. This one's been a cracker.
Here's a yellow card.
Still a long way to go.
Alex Serapis going into the book. "13 goals for Alex Serapis this year, former Valentine Olympic man.
So CT, your Kotara's coach. You're 10 minutes or so, a little bit more into the second half. You're down 3-1. You thinking of making a substitution soon? Just change it up a little bit?
Well, probably for me, without any injuries, I wouldn't change any personnel because they're settled in. However, what I would be trying to do is reduce the amount of ball and space in the middle of the park that the Newcastle Suns are able to get into. That's where they're seemingly causing more drama. Got the ability on the top end of their park to slice you up. So if they can stop that before it happens, that's where I'd be content. Although we are going to see a change, so thoughts are different. So it'll be interesting to see what this tactic brings.
Palazzi onto the head of Palazzi. So here he is.
This will be interesting, Smudge.
Joe Barnett, I believe it is down there. He's going to replace Zach Pfeiffer. So here he is, Joe Barnett. He is known as the baby giraffe when he goes for a trot. When he runs like a baby giraffe, and I can see it now.
Already.
Love it. I love it.
Well, let's hope he scores one.
Wouldn't you love that? He actually scored against the Suns in their last meeting back in round 13. The scoreline was 3-1 on that occasion. And Joe Barnett, not the ideal preparation last night, CT. He was around the Merriweather area, maybe around your house. Is that right?
Yes, well, I did see his name on the entry list at the to the party that we had at the 17th party, my daughter's party.
And he was there. So here is Lattimore. Crow with the turn, and Digby will get award the free kick here. So good position here for Kotara. And Joe Barnett's grandmother is watching from Belfast as we see this yellow card come out, and Kotara tried to take it quickly. So Catherine Barnett, she's watching from Belfast, and she wanted her grandson Joe Barnett. She said, get him off the bench, get him out there, and they have done exactly that.
Well, isn't this wonderful? Our family was in Belfast earlier this year around Christmas time, and what a beautiful place. I hope you're enjoying that, and your wish has been granted.
And the baby giraffe, as we know, it looks like a baby giraffe running. He's actually unmarked over on that left-hand side for the free kick. He's been told to move back towards his defensive half. So here he is. Tredinick hits it into the wall. It's a second bite at the cherry, but it's straight into McNamara. Konjarski charging down the park. Palazzi was there, but Barnett, and that's why he was moved back a little more defensively. A nutmeg. Nicholas weaving his way up the grounds. Out comes another card. They're racking up at the moment for the Suns. Fotef into the book now.
Just on Tredenick hitting that free kick. I wish he hit his penalty like that because he drove that nice and straight and nice and hard rather than scuffing under it.
And notice he's got a very good, solid left foot, just like his Uncle Howard.
Here's a change coming up for the Newcastle Suns. And Murray Barr heading out onto the pitch now. And now Jim Bennis putting it into the mixer. 3 goals for the man who's just come on this season, Murray Barr.
Just on the Barnetts, I know the Barnetts very well. Work with his father at the hospital, and both his mum and dad are physios like myself, so lovely family. And I did talk to his dad last night when his son was at your place, Bart, and his...
CT, he wasn't at my place.
CT, sorry. And I think his mum was out having a few drinks with a few friends, so...
Serapis now in front of the Kotara marquee. Still going Serapis. Appeals for handball. And Carlia couldn't quite stop it from crossing the line for a corner.
Yeah, I have to say, boys, the baby giraffe at my house last night was extremely well behaved and wonderful example of a young man, Novocastrian, setting an example amongst his peers.
Corner swung in. Carlia.
And helped even with some clean-up, etc. at critical times. Hope he does that this afternoon in defence.
What a good young man. Turn from Serapis. And Derwin just got his leg stuck there and stuck it out towards the Suns striker, and he was felled.
Boys, just on baby giraffes. Do you know what a baby giraffe is called?
Is this a joke?
No.
What is a baby giraffe called?
Calf. Just like a baby cow.
I learn something new every day with you, Smudge. So, Alex Palazzi standing over this one. He's on a hat-trick. His brother Aiden scored the opening goal. He actually set that up. So he's had a hand in all of the Suns' goals this afternoon. He hits it low. Blocked by Tredinick, and still Palazzi. It's been outstanding this afternoon, and he could get on the end of this one, but he is offside. He's not happy about it either. He sense he'll get a few more opportunities, though. Low back to Tredinick. Lattimore. It's been a little quieter, and Andrew Digby. He's caught one now, and it allows Alex Palazzi. Well, almost set up the Suns an opportunity there. The danger still not cleared by Kotara South. And Palazzi has to take down Holland. So Bo McDonald, he's thrust into the fray now, and David Crow, yet to win a grand final. He'll have to watch on for the remainder of this one. So what can the former Jets youth man do? There's his first touch, across to Nicholas. Actually played for Cardiff City, the Tigers last year. Tom Holland, Nicholas, he's onside and couldn't squeeze it inside the near post. That was good. Link-up play down the right edge.
Yeah, I like that forward run beyond the back four by Nicholas. Good 1-2 around the box. Great area. That's what I like to see Kotara do more of. Get the ball played for nice and quick. Get it on the deck. A few switches of play. Good rotation in midfield.
A chase on here for Murray Barr against his opposite number. The Suns attack second in the comp, 53 scored. Oh, gee whiz. He'll want his time back there, Justin Carlier. Now, he's actually got 3 fractures in his middle finger. One of his middle fingers has got 3 fractures. Now, I don't think you can blame that for that poor pass straight over the sideline. But he's a tough man. There he is. He gets his arm to it. It falls for Barr. Almost cleaned up the Kotara South goalkeeper. Palazzi. Konjarski. Now Palazzi on to Serapis. Trying to open up that left boot. And great save from Carlier. That would have snuck inside the far post. Not a bad strike at all. Reminiscent almost of that goal that Cale Bradbury scored last night for Broadmeadow Magic. You won't remember that, Smudge, because you're actually in the lift when he scored that goal.
Yeah, I was actually in the lift going down to the players, and actually when I interviewed Ruben Zakovic after the game, I mentioned it was a great 2-0 win, and I actually didn't realise it was 3-0.
Tom Holland. Here is his chance now. Chase Lattimore. And he's burning away from Palazzi even without the ball. Bo McDonald. He's a great finisher and bounces off the backside of McNamara. Known as a machine of an athlete, Blake McNamara, getting back to do that defensive work on the opposite side of the ground. Bo McDonald was bearing down on goal. 5 goals this year for Bo. 4 goals for the Jets youth over a couple of seasons in 2014 and 2015. Nicholas. Now Derwin. Great touch over to Nicholas. So the Tigers building some pressure here. They just really need a goal now to halve the deficit. It goes long, Tredenick. He makes up for the penalty miss in the best possible way. And there's a bit of a scuffle, push and shove. But they've halved the deficit. Exactly what the doctor ordered for the Tigers. 3-2 in the grand final.
What a brilliant corner, nice and flat. No one jumped with Tredenick, and what a powerful header. Perfectly on the noggin, drove it straight into the back of the net. No one actually jumped with him. What a beautiful corner, wasn't it? Nice trajectory, straight onto his noggin. This game on, boys.
We speak about momentum, Smudge. And momentum now is certainly sitting with Kotara South. They're the ones with the legs. They're the ones that are going to drive home in the back end of the game. 1 goal down. It's going to be a very interesting back end.
Fotef, Palazzi. So here they come. You can hear the Tigers growling. The Suns are sitting in one of those safari trucks in South Africa. And the Tigers are slowly catching them.
I like your analogy there, Bart.
Morgan, it was one of my worst. But anyway, you wouldn't want... I haven't been to South Africa, but that would scare you, wouldn't it?
Yeah, you see all the documentaries on the TV. There's Lattimore, little link-up play with the strikers.
Just thumped clear by McNamara, but they're going to... The pressure-relieving free kick, the Suns.
Boys, I said 1 for each half. Here's Kotara's turn. Why did the Tiger lose it playing poker? Because he was playing with a cheetah. See, Mike liked it again. Oh, thanks, Mike.
Well,
producer, cameraman.
In the notes we've got, in the notes we've got, it actually says that Charlie Lattimore, the striker for the Tigers, is actually quicker than a cheetah. He has raced a cheetah and won, apparently. Charlie Lattimore. Wonder where that race took place.
He's talking. Chase Lattimore. Smudge. Help me out. Help me out.
So the Tigers fans getting right behind them here. So we're near the money minutes. We're just over 20 minutes to go in this 2018 Zone Premier League Grand Final. Little nudge
Nice
in the
touch.
back of Lattimore, but he got the pass away. Derwin. Great little distribution wide to Nicholas. Rolls it in towards McDonald. Gee, Bo McDonald up front. He's going to cause some serious problems for the Suns, you sense.
Yeah, just really quickly, the Suns are starting to drop deeper and deeper. Their back four's dropping deeper and deeper, allowing more space in the midfield for Kotara. They're starting to dictate to MCT. And I'll tell you what, 20 minutes to go. Suns need to be very careful here.
Well, we spoke about this at the beginning of the game. It's contrasting sides, one with a lot of skill and experience and lethal attack. The other side, young, enthusiastic, with some talent and strike force, particularly in Lattimore that we've seen this afternoon, who will not stop. As you correctly say, Smudge, this one's falling out almost as anticipated.
Palazzi. Now Lawrence Fotef, well blocked by Bo. The young man who's a fan of Newcastle United and the Newcastle Jets. Morgan Bo, the defender. His hero is actually Paul Dummett, who's a Newcastle United defender. Is Nicholas. Great tackle over on the far side of the ground from...
You had the
Centre
baby
back
giraffe
was
coming in.
Palazzi.
Sorry, you had the baby giraffe coming in back stick. Joe Barnett. If you've seen him cross it, he was free at the back stick. You can see Joe Barnett having his hands up. But yeah, this is going to be an intriguing final 15 minutes.
Murray Barr. Running at Bo. Comes back and almost dispossesses him. Justin Carlier, the coach, the player coach, the goalkeeper for Kotara, sent us through some notes regarding young Morgan Bowe about his support for Newcastle United. Now I'm going to just let you know I'm a Newcastle United fan as well. It's a difficult thing to do. It's Palazzi! Great save from Carlier. Another strike which fired off like it came out of a cannon.
Saw the target, pulled the trigger, hit with wonderful technique, and power just released. Smudge's reaction says it all.
So Konjarski, the beat of the drum in the background. Little half volley. Well, Carlier was wrong-footed there as Aidan Palazzi lined up the strike, and it was like a pinball. Adam Nicholas. Up and over the top. Bo McDonald. There was a handball against him, and Kotara fans disagreeing with that one.
I must say, boys, this is a very exciting game. So a message comes through from Jacob Payne. Obviously, he probably played in the grand final last year for Beresford, who beat the Suns 3-2. Well, here's CT, and Danny Burt scored the winner. Obviously, the Suns are trying to rectify that situation and win the grand final this year. So
They won it back in 2016, the Suns, against Dudley Redhead 4-0. So they want to turn it around this afternoon and get back as champions of the Zone Premier League. Fotef just looks up, and you sense the fatiguing Suns aren't going to be able to run onto those balls up and over the top now.
yeah, we talk about their back four. They're really deep at the moment. They played a nice high line the first half and really closed out Kotara. But they're playing a really deep line. They're starting to fatigue a little bit. And look at Kotara, CT. They're full of legs, aren't they?
Konjarski rolled it in towards Serapis. And Bo's clearance is probably going to fall to the one man on the pitch you don't want to find with the ball. Here he goes again. Freeing up that right boot. When will he take on the strike? His touch was a little too heavy. One of the first times that Alex Palazzi has just made a slight mistake. And here is Joe Barnett speeding away. Steps away from McNamara and delivers towards McDonald. And his dink up and over the top is not in the direction he would have liked.
Wonderful positioning from Barnett, the baby giraffe.
He did really well. Great ball across. Nicholas on the right-hand side. And, yeah, if Nicholas had his time again, he should have pinged it straight at the goal. But tell you what, Kotara putting a lot of pressure on the Suns here. And I think this is going to come down to the wire, Bart. I think this is going to be a full 90-minute game.
And now
well
Palazzi
down.
steals it off McIsaac, who takes him down. It will be a card. Yellow expected. Fair enough.
I think Mike Isaac had his time again. There was three players around Palazzi. He's not going to run away with it due to his pace, even though he's sharp over a few yards. But yeah, he didn't need the foul there. It just slows the game up for the Suns. All the Suns want to do is have a stop-start game, slow it up, get their breath back, recover.
I'll just ask you, if you're the Suns coach, Vasco Apostolowski, what are you saying to your boys here as they're just treading water? That one blazed well over by Daniel Palazzi. What would Vasco Apostolowski be saying to his side, Smudge?
You know what? I'd be a little bit careful playing too deep. Their back four's playing a little bit deep. It's all about closing the game out for them. They're looking a little bit tired. You maybe get some more fresh legs on, but it's making it stop-start. Just sort of get the ball, hold possession, use the width. Need to be careful in transition for Kotara because they're transitioning nice and quick. They've got some pace, they've got some young legs. So I think they just need to be careful, pushing numbers forward.
Oh, look at Jim Bennis. It was like a magic trick between two defenders. And now Joe Barnett. He got in front of McNamara and Chase Lattimore. Barnett's there. It's going to run away from McDonald. He wins it back. That was skillful from McDonald. Dinked over the top by Bennis. Lattimore is onside, squares it back, and the Suns somehow clear their lines. But there'll be more nervous moments for Suns fans, you sense, because Kotara are coming at them here. Holland. Acres of space in the midfield. It's really opened up. Derwin. And now Nicholas. The hands go up for offside. The flag stays down. He's able to recover. Nicholas. Palazzi doing a good job for the moment of jockeying him. The cavalry arrives in the form of Derwin. And it's almost been spilled by Jovanovic, who claims it in the end. Bennis. Back to the goal scorer, Trudenic. Powerful header to get Kotara back within a goal in this second half. It's a neat run from Joe McIsaac, and now Derwin just waited for the pass and waited it beautifully. Here he is, McDonald. McNamara, cool, calm and collected he was as he just knocked that one over for a corner.
And we spoke about the Suns. Their back four's dropping deeper and deeper. There's more space in midfield. They're playing the little 1-2s, the triangles. That was well played by Kotara CT and very unlucky. They're pressing. I'll tell you what, the Suns need to be very tight, but they have to stay compact. At the moment, they're a little bit playing with a little bit of width.
So Tom Holland on the corner kick. They scored from their last set piece, did the Tigers, not on this occasion. Trudinic, who scored from that corner kick. On to Bennis.
Well, Smudge, your comments there, it's almost a mirror of the discussion we were having in the first half about Kotara staying
Was there
compact.
a handball against Griffin? Well, surely that's got to be a yellow card, doesn't it? It looked as though it may have been on purpose as he moved his arm towards the ball. He's saying it struck his shoulder, but there was a clear movement towards the ball, and Luke Lockwood is saying the Suns are dying. Very blunt on Facebook.
He's also saying he thinks they'll score again, and here's a great opportunity for them right now.
"10 minutes to go." Wow, hasn't time just flown by? So Adam Nicholas. And Jovanovic is able to get a touch over for a corner. Although Digby is giving the goal kick. Well, I thought Jovanovic touched that for sure.
Well, Andrew Diggers has got about...
The Suns fans are blowing up at the assistant referee on the far side. He's copping a battering. Yeah, sorry, the Kotara fans, I should say. And Mike, our cameraman, who's doing a wonderful job, is saying he definitely touched it, Jovanovic, so... Digger's not quite sure how he didn't point to the corner flag there. But here's another chance. Nicholas delivers towards Lattimore, whose first touch let him down. He was almost able to get back on the ball.
It's all happening here, boys. Oh, this game, I'm absolutely loving it. Both teams are on the attack. Both teams are going and panning out. It's what you want in a grand final. It's got all of the attributes.
What a way to end the season on Bar TV Sports Football. Nicholas.
They're looking tired, the Suns, aren't they, CT? They're dropping deeper. They're not closing down. They're not putting too much pressure on the ball. They're allowing Kotara to come forward. And again, look, they've got about 8 players in the back line at the moment.
They are just hanging on for dear life.
And you wonder if that conversation, Smudge, from Kotara, that we're going to be there in the back end of the game as long as we're in it. And we need to be strong early in the back end of the conversation with the Suns. They're saying we stay nice and compact, get ourselves in front. So now we've got game on.
Great turn by Joe Barnett.
Can he thread the ball? Lattimore was after it. Great touch in there by Stuart Thompson.
I must say, Joe Barnett, the baby giraffe, the calf, when he came on, he's been very lively, hasn't he, boys?
He's been fantastic.
He really...
And what he does, he faces forward and attacks forward, puts the Suns on the back four. Looks like it's going to be a long throw here, Bart. It's a big throw in the box.
Very long throw. Pinball around. Appeals for handball against Lattimore.
Suns very slow to come out.
Well, do you remember in The Lion King, we're using a lot of animal analogies. This afternoon, Nicholas is brought to ground. Now, do you remember in The Lion King when Mufasa was hanging onto the rock and Scar was standing over him? He was hanging on by his fingernails. That's what the Suns are like at the moment. And Kotara, a Scar. They're deciding whether to throw Mufasa over the top of the rock wall or not.
But I do remember that. I've got children. What's your excuse?
I watched it when I was a child, CT.
Yeah, well,
They are just hanging on, aren't they?
giving you 12 now. It wasn't that long. Delivery.
Digged in, up goes Barnett. Attempted bicycle, that was audacious. Trudinic, the skipper, And the clearance over the sideline eases the pressure for the moment, but it's still Kotara with the foot on the throat. Long throw. McDonald had the option for the strike, decided against it. Holland, he decides to go with the strike. And the man who's been producing some special goals this afternoon,
Yeah, good pressure
Alex
by
Palazzi.
Good pressure by Palazzi. They needed that. Serapis strong on the ball.
Yep,
He's done
holds
well.
it up beautifully. This could seal it for the Suns. Alex Serapis wins the grand final for the Newcastle Suns. And they're on their way to a second championship in 3 years now.
Serapis, the timing, the angles, and then the calmness to finish with an advancing Kalia. Made no mistake, and fitting goal, Smudge, and an ecstatic fan base behind the goals that went up as one.
I'll tell you what, the Newcastle Suns needed that because Kotara, they were pouncing. They were putting a lot of pressure on the Suns. They were playing some great football, had a few chances, but a great transition by the Newcastle Suns. Alex Serapis used his strength, used his body position, got in a fantastic position and put it past Kalia. But I'll tell you what, Kotara, they were gallant, weren't they? They were been performing very well, pressing forward. Unlucky not to get the equaliser. However, full credit to the Newcastle Suns. They withstood that pressure just late in the game, and a quick transition got them the goal.
And that's the thing, they earned it with those early goals. And while Kotara really are pressing now, that 2-goal buffer should be enough now for the Suns. Derwin, Lattimore, Palazzi with the clearance away. Less than 5 minutes to travel now in this 2018 Zone Premier League Grand Final. Here's McDonald. Bow. Great touch on. Still going Barnett. And here's another chance for Serapis in a foot race with McIsaac. He won the last one. He could yet win this one. Kalia with the outstretched arms. McDonald.
Suns are full of confidence now, Bart. They're playing there the high line. Their back four are playing a bit more of a high line. Joe Barnett on the ball, pushing forward. Well defended by the Suns.
Fotef gives away the free kick. And although the Suns may have sealed it now, it's taken nothing away from what has been a thoroughly enjoyable grand final.
One of the highlight games of the year for me, Bart. We've done many games throughout the course of the year, and this game has been entertaining, good quality football. And you know what? Both sides have given 100%. Every single player on this park should put their head up high. They've all played very hard.
So Nick Murphy onto the park now. Works at Carpet Court.
You see Newcastle Suns here just winding down the clock. They're 4-2 up. They're good experienced players here. Alex Palazzi, who's bagged a few goals today, was going to take the throw-in. Drops the ball off. Wastes a few more seconds. That's where experience comes into it, Bart.
You can see Jaden Wright out there as well for the Tigers. They've cleared their bench. Showing some energy there. The young man, just 17 years of age. Same age as Joe Barnett. The young brigade trying to make a late impact. Here for Kotara, Derwin. Touched it wide onto by McDonald. Trying to plough one across to the man who's just come on right. Jaden Wright, formerly of the Jets youth and also Adamstown in the under-19s. The NPL, back when it was the 19s competition. Derwin now. Bennis, who scored Kotara's opening goal.
Was a great goal, wasn't it? A good team goal.
Very good team goal. Lattimore setting it up. Bennis finishing it off. But really, it's been the Palazzi show this afternoon. Alex Palazzi scoring 2, setting up another. And then Alex Serapis putting the nail in the coffin of the Tigers this afternoon.
But a good crowd in today. A lot of Kotara Tigers fans, a lot of Newcastle Suns fans. Great afternoon of football. You know what? Played in good spirits, hasn't it? It's been intense. It's been very tight, but played in good spirits most of all.
Yeah, there's been a bit of push and shove at times, but it's just hasn't simmered any more than that. It's Alex Palazzi off the head of Bennis. He tried to take it quickly. I'd love a fifth just to really rub it in, but Kotara, they're looking for another one just to give them some late hope. Jovanovic just thumps that one out over the sideline.
Just on Alex Palazzi, they're up 4-2. I know he's keen to get another goal, but there's no need for that. He just needs to wind down the clock. It's all about the end result because the turnover was quick and the Kotara on the front foot and nearly scored.
Derwin now to Bennis. Morgan Bowe. Right. Now Tredinick. And then Bowe's pass. A little bit of fatigue. He sense creeping in there for the young 20-year-old who's played every minute of every game this season. And he's not going to be subbed off in the grand final. What an effort from him. Consistency. Palazzi just strips McDonald of the ball.
Great ball.
And just touches it on to Serapis, who's offside.
Touch and go, that one, Bart. Well, right in line with that. What are your thoughts on that one? It was, I suppose, we're up a bit higher. Angle wasn't perfectly in line. Yeah.
I was watching Palazzi as he passed the ball, so I couldn't exactly tell you. It's Lattimore clattering into Jovanovic, who gives away the free kick. Is Digby going to go to his pocket? Andrew Digby put the whistle to his mouth, but no card will be drawn from the pocket.
Great ball in. Lattimore showed his pace, but you know what? Jovanovic, he did very well.
So Derwin, can he spark some late hope for Kotara? Derwin, and there was the attempted flick on at the back post from McIsaac. Playing in his first season in the top grade. It's been great to have your company for this afternoon's Zone Premier League Grand Final. It's been a pleasure to bring it to you. The Newcastle Suns winning their second premiership in 3 seasons. And the Suns have shone this afternoon at Magic Park. And what a couple of days it has been for the clubs with Macedonian heritage in Newcastle. 2 grand finals and 2 victories. And the partying is just going to continue. Alex Palazzi with 2 goals. He set up his brother Aiden for another, and Alex Serapis scored the sealer late on in the contest. And for Kotara, the skipper, Tom Tredinick, got them back into the match in the second half after Jim Bennis scored earlier in the first half. But the Newcastle Suns, too good in the end, too fast to start, and Kotara just couldn't quite pull them back. Full time in the 2018 Zone Premier League Grand Final. Newcastle Suns 4, Kotara South 2. We're going to head down to Chris Turner in just a second. I'm just going to dump the microphone downstairs to him. And he is going to chat, hopefully, to the man of the moment, Alex Palazzi, who scored a really special goal from distance. 2 special goals, to be honest. The first one, the best of the 2. CT might chat to Vasco Apostolowski, the coach. We'll see if he can grab him for a chat. But this brings to the end this match, our coverage of football this year on Bar TV Sports. A reminder that next week, Edgeworth are playing in the NPL Final Series up in Queensland. They're taking on the Lions. Last year they went down to the Brisbane Strikers 2-0 at home. This year they've got ahead to play the Queensland NPL champions up in the Sunshine State. So that'll be a difficult task for Edgeworth after their grand final defeat last night. Should be a very good few weeks of action in the NPL Final Series. And already the build-up to the 2019 season. It's a fair way off, but we'll be commencing before you know it. We're going to head downstairs. Chris Turner is with Vasco Apostolowski.
Well, boys, I'm joined here with Vas Apostolowski. Vas, mate, this is a massive victory for the Newcastle Suns. How are you feeling right now?
Yeah, mate, a bit emotional. It's been a long year for us. Been a long year, great bunch of blokes. We started off a bit shaky throughout the season. We come strong. It's 15-16 now, I think, undefeated. I'm just happy for the boys because although today at Patches we played really well and we're untouchable, but it's football. 2 teams are in it. Now Kotara gave it a good shake, so congratulations to them for making it and giving it a good game. And to my boys, I'm just very happy about the victory.
Yeah, come in, snuggle up, mate. It's all happening. All friends here, mate. And this game, it was panning out to be one of two parts. One where you've got a lot of experience, high levels of skill in your team, and then another one was a side that weren't going to go away with some good quality players in it.
Definitely. I told the boys, I go. Actually, when I spoke to them, I said we just got to control our game first. We got the couple of boys that have played higher level, big pitch. It's going to be a little bit heavy for the boys that are not used to playing on such a big pitch, but I said just control the ball, play feet, play quick, and the result will come. I had 100% confidence in the boys if we played the way we can, which we didn't do a total domination, but it was good enough to get the win.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm sure you guys will celebrate in good form. Hopefully we'll have your boys here in a moment. I'm going to try and get a hold of Alex Palazzi. And Alex is on his way over now, and I'll get you to stay with us here, Vas, while this is going on. And you've got big players in your game, and there's been probably none better than this one in Alex Palazzi. Alex, thanks for joining us here. Congratulations on a great win. How are you feeling right now?
Oh, buzzing, mate. It's a good atmosphere. It was good everyone turned up. It was a good game. We absolutely killed it today, so it was good, mate. Feeling good.
Now, mate, I've got to ask you, I've seen you scored. I've spoken to Smudge before about you scored some crackers in your time. That first goal, how did that one go down?
Yeah, that was unreal. It's just good when you hit them sweet. There's no better feeling when you just hit it sweet and it hits the back of the net.
It left the keeper absolutely stranded. He did not move, and you not only that, you had plenty of other opportunities as well, and it was a wonderful strike.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, mate. Yeah, mate, I can't wrap the boys up anymore, how good they went. A couple of little silly mistakes, but other than that, mate, it was just unreal.
Yeah, well, look, you'll go and celebrate. You'll celebrate with your team for sure, and congratulations, mate. You thoroughly deserve it. For the pair of you, thanks for joining us here. It's been a pleasure having Bar TV here doing this one, and we've thoroughly enjoyed the game. So, back up to you guys.
Thanks. Thank you, CT. Much appreciated. Thanks for having a chat down there on the touchline here at Magic Park. The Newcastle Suns victorious in this 2018 Zone Premier League Grand Final. Now, I'm just checking, are we sticking around for the presentation, Mike? Or are we wrapping it up? We're gonna find out whether we're sticking around for the presentation. The Man of the Match award, the officials just receiving their medals. Andrew Digby, the referee for this afternoon's match. He stepped down to the Zone Premier League the last couple of seasons after being one of the top referees in the NPL Northern New South Wales. Smudge, as we said, that was probably one of the best matches of football we've watched all season.
You know what it was? It was 11 players, 11 starting players plus substitutes given 100%. It was so entertaining. It was good football. Both teams played to their structures and to their plans. You know what? Full credit to everybody. It was absolutely brilliant game of football. Beautiful half night. And you know what? To round up the season, I'm just glad I was here.
Well, we are going to wrap it all up. Smudge, can I just say, wow, hasn't it been a huge season? And this is it. We don't know what to do with ourselves now on the weekend.
I will say my wife will probably be quite happy. So, but you know what? It's been a fabulous year. Edgeworth Eagles in the NPL, 4 in a row. Absolute tremendous job. They were beaten by the better side last night in Broadmeadow Magic. Tremendous effort by Broadmeadow Magic. Watching the game, even watching back in the UFM Grand Final. Great game of football as well. And Bell Swans winning their first premiership or grand final in 32 years. And today the Newcastle Suns just outsmarted probably Kotara in the end and deserved victory. What a fabulous year of football.
Well, to all you out there watching, thanks for your support. You're the reason we can do this on Bar TV Sports, and thank you again for another wonderful 2018 season. So Ben Homer signing off on behalf of Damien Smith and Chris Turner. It's been a pleasure to have your company throughout this entire season, and we will catch you around the grounds again in 2019.